yeah, I don't want to leave this place. I like this place. So I'll just record all the videos here. I like this tree because I can rest on it. And I know he's somewhat healing me. And somehow he's giving me strength. And for that I don't even have to do anything. Like, I don't have to have some doctor observe me and touch me and like put his finger into places that no doctor should go. It's like with women. They go to the gynecologist when they're pregnant. And every time that doctor goes into her vagina, I mean, that's a private part. They shouldn't put their hands in there. It's so unnecessary. But yeah, it's, producing money. Because every time you go to the doctor, that doctor gets money. So they make money with making you afraid that your child might die and that you have to run all these tests. Because who needs to run all these tests? People who have no trust and no faith. People who are afraid. And that's why, don't fall for these things. That's just part of the matrix. And I've seen it happening. I've seen them lie to tell you things so you would come back. Doctors that don't actually want to help you. They withhold certain truth from you. Although they probably know better. And I've had that. And that's, for example, sometimes what also my dad does. I mean, why he doesn't want to show me some things he learned, like certain ways that he whistles. Because if I can also do that, right? He's not the only one who's able to do it anymore. And, that's the selfishness that I mean. Doctors who are kind of thin, that treat fat patients, and after 10 years of the doctor's treatment, they're still fat. Because they never tell their patients, okay, you have to do this now to lose weight. No, they just keep the patient comfortable. They just treat some of the ailments, but just enough that the patient stays sick. And that's just the kind of system we live in. You just treat patients, you just keep them in the same state. And that's just where I say no to that. I say no to it. Absolutely no. And yeah, that's why I just learned to trust myself. If I have heartburn, I change my diet. If I have heartburn, I drink less coffee. If I have heartburn, I eat less sugar. If you have heartburn, you eat less meat. It's acidic. For God's sake. It's acidic. It's toxic energy that you're ingesting. Meat is toxic. And how couldn't it be? I mean, look at how these animals are living. And they're just being killed in the worst ways, and they just have to keep talking about that. You may find this tedious, but you see, the stuff that I'm saying here is not just for the people, who want to hear it. It's for the people who don't want to hear it. And I'm not doing the stuff for the people who are hearing me. Like that man. I spoke truth to him. I said to him, I basically pointed him out that he's lazy. And he just, he didn't hear it, but a part of him did. And sometimes you have to really shout at people so that they will hear you. What are you doing? How are you living your life? And that's, I can point to anyone with this. Of course, I can also point to myself. So when I speak truth, yes, I also realize that some of the things I say, I'm not doing them. And then, of course, I have to start changing so that I learn how to do these things. So I work towards them, of course. You know, baby steps. And then you just hope that somehow it's the right thing to do. Somehow it's what will bring you to that place that you think, you know, maybe your heaven. You know, your personal forest, or you know, that you can also share. You know, I don't just want to be alone in that forest. Not just. But of course, first I want to learn the ways of the forest, maybe. And once I've done that, you know, you also invite other people then to spend time with you in that forest, but you make sure they'll respect it. Because you use that forest to teach them about nature. Because if you're in an open park here, and I want to do like stuff with people, camp in the forest, make fires in the forest, like take mushrooms in the forest, then I always have to be afraid that somebody will call them. Because I don't know. You know, you also need some kind of facilities, right? So you have to make sure people get used to the forest again. And for that you need private forest. Because otherwise you're always afraid, you're always anxious that the police or whoever, you know, random hikers will show up. And that's why I realize I need my own private forest where also my rules apply. And that will be the rules of the forest. My rules, that's important, you know, I'm in charge there. If you don't like my rules, well then leave, right? You know, you don't just come to me and do mushrooms, no. You first have to prove to me that you're worth it, that you're willing to put in the effort. And then I decide when you're ready to do mushrooms. And then I decide when you're ready for a certain experience. Because you're coming to me for guidance, right? So you cannot decide these things apparently. But I decided, and I also decide when you're gonna leave. So when I have the feeling, now it's time for you to apply what I've taught you, then you have to leave, because I cannot concern myself with you all the time. But I'm gonna make sure that you learned the right things. But yeah, for that I need you to trust me. And that's gonna be a challenge for you, because you probably don't trust yourself. So I'm gonna show you how to trust yourself. But yeah, for that I need the space and the locality. And that's what I'm working for. And of course, there's all kinds of things that I'm worried about. You know, how to find the place, all that kind of stuff. And then you think about it, and then you realize, don't think too much. You know, just do it. And the information that you need will come to you. And you don't have to know everything. You just have to know what you need to know right now. And then you just keep going, and you continue to do